Good afternoon. My name is Christy Cardillo. Welcome to the Bradenton Kiwanis Club. Thank you for being here. Special welcome to all our guests. It's great to have you, including Christy. Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now we're going to sing My Country 'Tis of Thee. My country 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring. And I believe, because someone didn't tell me who he asked, that Mike Mccoy is going to do the invocation.
Neil said this was my final duty as the former immediate past president or something. I don't know. So join me in prayer, please. Dear Lord, thank you so much for this day, and thank you for this great lunch that you've provided and for the folks that prepared it for us. Please be with our new leaders as they're sworn in today to lead our club. They're leading it on your mission. We're your hands and your feet here on earth, showing your love to folks that really need it. And let us just stay focused on making our community a better place. We know that if we invest in those who you would like us to, that we will all be better for it. We'll have a better community and a better life. Be with our past officers, and may you continue to bless this club. In Jesus' name, amen.
Please be seated, and we will be back at 12:30. Enjoy the rest of your lunch. Okay, thank you for coming back. I hope you had a wonderful lunch. Mac, would you like to come up and introduce our guests?
What? All right, good afternoon, Bradenton, Kiwanis. How are we doing out there? And as I try to ask every week, ain't it great to be a Kiwanian, especially in this club? We appreciate everybody who's taken the time out to come and be with us today. And we do have a number of guests, so if you'll please be patient with me as I read the names, and then if you would just stand for a moment so that we can recognize you and welcome you the correct way. So first, a guest of Misty Servia's is Ruth Landis. So Ruth. Gilbert Smith has brought his lovely bride with him today. Anita, if you would please stand. And he didn't stop there. He brought his lovely daughter Shannon with him. So, yeah. And another person who is very special in his cadre, Donna McCammon. And last but not least, here we have Chris Mata. And Bill Murphy mentioned something about frogs, but you'll explain that.
That's the Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club. Oh, at the frog. Okay.
Real old guys.
Ah, okay. So if you want to be a member, just, see Bill. We also have... it's Gilbert's Club. I got it. Okay. We also have with us Laura Fox Friselli. First time I think she's been here since the name upgrade. And she brought her lovely husband with him, Frank. Please stand. And then finally, from the bishop, we have Brandy Harlan. Give her a big applause. All right, thank you all. Have a great day, and go Kiwanis.
Thank you, Mac. So if any of our guests are interested in joining Bradenton Kiwanis, please see any officer or Sharon or Jack Powers. Either one would be happy to give you more information. We have a great group, and we would love for you to join us. We do have an announcement for Miss Dawn. Dawn Stanhope, they are looking for volunteers for Bugs program at Manatee Elementary and Palmetto Elementary Schools. So please contact Dawn if you can help. It's a wonderful program. And of course, you're going to hear me talk about it in just a minute. So that's one of the things that we've been able to do this last year that's really impacting the kids in our schools. And with no further ado, I'm going to welcome Gilbert up here to go over Kiwanis history.
Hello, everybody. And when we left off, we were in 1966. Now we're in 1967. So I want you to listen closely because you might hear the answer to the question I'm going to ask next week. So listen real close, and it may have something to do with bananas. So 1967, the club is moving forward, and the aerial on the screen is an aerial of Cortez Road and 14th Street in 1967. And who knew there was a drive-in on the northwest corner of that street? There you go. Brett probably went there. Steve, I'm sure, was there. Dennis was there. Mac, and is that Ed? Yeah, they were there. I won't ask what you were doing there, but they were there. Go to the next slide, if you would, Mac. This is a photo of the First National Bank on Manatee Avenue and 12th Street, Main Street, right across from the courthouse. In January 1967, this bank budgeted $1 million to build a new bank on 6th Avenue. And this one was demolished. Now, wouldn't it be great if we had still had that historic building? And just if you don't know where that is, but you've been in Bradenton a long time, if you look halfway down, that's where Council's Pool Hall was. Too bad it's not there. We could have another book signing there. The next slide is, this is the bank in 1950s, what it looked like. I just wanted to show you that. And this is what it looked like when our 1967 president was a judge here. Next one. This is a photo of Circuit Judge Robert Edward Hensley, and he served as the 67 president of this club. He was the second sitting judge to serve and the first circuit judge to serve as president of this club. A little bit about him. He was born in Johnson City, Tennessee in 1923 and moved to Florida to Stewart first and then to Crestview. He graduated from high school there, and then he tried to enlist in the Army. They declined. They rejected him because he was too skinny and he couldn't see. And so the recruiter told him to go home and eat bananas. You remember that now? Do you remember the bananas? Okay. Next week, remember bananas. So he went home and he ate as many bananas as he could, and he didn't even gain a pound. And he went back 3 or 4 times to get inducted, and they wouldn't let him in. So what happened, of course, is, next photo is he got drafted when they needed more men. He was still just as skinny, still couldn't see, so they gave him some eyeglasses. And what did they make him? A marksman. He went to Italy. True story, Heather. He went to Italy, and that's where he spent almost all of his time in World War II. He was honorably discharged in 1946 and went to Stetson. Next slide, Mac. Where he graduated with his bachelor's and then his law degree in 1950. He moved down to Bradenton and practiced law with some firms where one of them was a former president of this club, Judge Willis. And then in 1955, he was at only 32 years old, he was appointed county judge. And Heather probably may recognize what he's doing there. He's looking over ballots which the canvassing board, which Heather's on. And then in 1955, when a former member of this club, Judge Harrison, died, he was appointed circuit judge. And next slide. And so Judge Hensley served as circuit judge from 1959 through 1986 when he retired. And he was one of the leading figures here, not only as a judge, but also in community service, which he really demonstrated community service throughout Manatee County and was recognized many, many times. He died in 2009, just 2 or 3 months after my investiture, where he was at 86 years old. So he's a real special person to me. Next slide. This is a photo that was taken on March 7th, 1967 at Kiwanis Hall, and that's Dr. George Coates, who was a former president, Mavis Hensley, Judge Hensley's wife, Judge Hensley, and of course Edgar Johnson, who was the former president of this club in 1966. Next slide. And this slide is a photo of Edgar Johnson, who was at the International Club in Texas, and he was there because the club was being recognized as the club that had performed more community service and projects than any other club in the United States that year. So they were recognized for the work done in 1966. This slide is this is the Outstanding Agricultural Award, and this is the first year that it was given. And Farm City Week, which started in 1955, but this was the first year we were going to have, during Farm City Week, an Outstanding Agricultural Award winner. So the next slide. And the first recipient was T.J. Carter, who won as the first recipient of the award. And this next slide is a photo of Judge Hensley recognizing Mayor Sterling Hall, who was retiring from the city of Bradenton. This is again in 1967. And then the next one. And this is Judge Hensley, a photo of him in 1986 when he did retire after over 30 years on the bench. By the end of 1967, the club had inducted 4 new members, Eiley Conley and Bud Fortson, and I'll see you in a week or two and talk about 1968. So at this time, Xavier, you want to come on up? Okay.
You and I have a presentation to do because he has to go back to work.
Okay.
So, Mike McCoy, if you would please come to the podium. We have Mike's, with COVID, his plaque ended up in the closet. And I found it. I wanted to make sure he received it and got a picture.
Come over here.
Yeah, come stand up. We'll stand down here and let we take a picture.
All right.
Y'all fit in there? It's your plaque, it's not mine.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
One more. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Xavier, you want to come on up? And I'll turn it over to you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Xavier Colon. I'm the Division 17 Lieutenant Governor. Most of you seem to be knowledgeable about Kiwanis, but above the club level is our divisions. We have 27 in the state, and I was lucky enough to get voluntold by the clubs in the division to be Lieutenant Governor this year. And then above that, we have our Florida District. But one of the great honors I get to do is the officer installation. Now, with that being said, I like to first start off all my speaking engagements by saying the motto of Kiwanis, which is Kiwanis is a global organization of volunteers dedicated to improving the world one child and one community at a time. I'd be remiss to, omit any of the great things that Bradenton Kiwanis does. You guys are the powerhouse of the county. When everybody thinks of Kiwanis, which I'm a member of the North Manatee Club, they're like, oh, you meet in downtown Bradenton, and we have to sadly inform them there are smaller clubs that, don't get that much glory. But It's an honor to be here. It's not every day that a lieutenant governor gets to be in front of a club that's 99 years old. You know, it's a big honor. Some of the clubs across the state in Orlando, the big cities, they're getting in the same age. So you have about 155 members, if I'm right, if I go, and 15 SLPs. So you're a very productive, a very active club. And I have the honor of working with some of you outside of this, working in the Palmetto CRA, but also had worked for the county. So it's wonderful to see the mover and shakers of the county here in our Bradenton Kiwanis Hall. Now, with that being said, I would like to say that with the officer installations, one of the big things is recognizing the outgoing officers. It's been a hard 2 years. You know, the pandemic that was supposed to last 2 weeks is still going. So with that being said, any outgoing directors, if you would please stand. So that means you're not incumbent, you know. All right, thank you so much. Yep. But thank you so much for your service. I hope that you get, you know, that little bit more free time, because I know you're very active, so they're probably going to find something else to fill in those gaps for you. But incoming directors, I believe we have most of you here. We're just missing, so that would be Ed Cleveland, Rich Fred, Jan. I don't want to butcher your last name, Jan Shaver. If you guys would, please rise. They actually want to take your photos, so they made me say that you have to come up here as well when I call your name. So come on up, I'm so sorry. So right over here so we can get your photo in front of everybody. Mike Beer, Jane, Bill Murphy, Jack, and Byron and Janine as the foundation directors as well. I really don't want to mess up her last name. I volunteer here, so. Yeah. All right, now, wait just a second, guys. They do have a script for us for these kind of occasions, so give me just 1 second. But the board of directors of a club is composed of you, the elected directors and the officers. Yeah, you guys got stuck up there. They really abandoned you. Yeah. The board of directors handles most of the business of the club, an important responsibility. You'll set strategic direction, implement club policies, approve the club's budget, support committee activities, and oversee the administrative tasks of the club. I know you will accept these responsibilities with a desire to see that this club has the best year ever. Thank you for stepping up to play this important role. It's my pleasure to formally install you guys as board of directors for this club. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Now you guys know when you do get called up for the installation, you have to come stand up here awkwardly while we do the script reading. Don't try and run away. Give us a second. Now, next up is the secretary, Mac. Oh, yeah. Give me 1 second. He's doing his thing. Yep, come on up. Now, Mac is not he's not the outgoing incoming, he's the forever incumbent secretary. Love Mac. Thank you so much, Mac. You make my job a lot easier as Lieutenant Governor with your constant communication and making sure that I give everybody the dates and times in an orderly fashion, or else I will get the 5th email from Mac Aldridge. Now for the scripted part. In Kiwanis, the club secretary is the master of details. Your role in handling club affairs, the details of the club and board meetings, the reports, correspondence, and records is essential for the club to run smoothly. Thank you for taking on this important role. I formally induct you as secretary of the club. Thank you. Next up is treasurer, and I know Dave is with us virtually, I believe. If you wait, there he goes, he's waving for us. Thank you, Dave. Now, Dave is also an incumbent, which is very unusual for a treasurer. I think in all of the clubs, they are all incumbent treasurers. So thank you, Dave, for taking this role. As treasurer, you have been elected to an office that demands absolute integrity and financial accounting skills. It is your role to deposit and disperse the funds of the club upon the direction of the board of directors. You'll also report on the club's finances at each board meeting. Thank you for stepping into this significant role. I formally install you as treasurer of this club. All right, Vice President Andy Minor. Now, like I said, we like to honor those who are outgoing. So thank you so much, Neil, for your year. You know, you had a great time at the convention. I had a great time with you guys. The Bradenton crew is a lot of fun when we go to the state conventions, and you've done a lot of great work as vice president, and now you're stepping up into president-elect, so good luck with that. But we are here to honor Andy, our incoming. So, Andy, as an officer of the club, you contribute your vision and ideas to your club's leadership team. In the absence of the president, you shall preside at club meetings and board of directors meetings. I formally install you as vice president of the club. Thank you so much. All right. Next up, president-elect, which is Neil now. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. All right, Neil, you have been selected to lead your club during the following year. As you serve on the board this year, take advantage of opportunities to learn about the president's role, build relationships, and plan for your year as president. Thank you for your leadership and dedication. I hereby formally install you as president-elect of this club. Now, don't let her run. She's got to stay right there. Immediate past president. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. I know Christy has had a lot more challenges and Neil and them have been able to help her out, but we really do appreciate your leadership this year as president. You've done amazing work with this club, especially doing it virtually is a very hard task, but you were successful, greatly successful, so thank you. Now, you don't get to escape, though. We do have the immediate past president, so you still got to stay on the board for one more year. Your club benefits from the immediate past president continuing on for one more year as a member of the board of directors. Your experience as club president this past year will empower you to be an essential mentor and colleague for your successor and a valued advisor on the business of the club. It's my pleasure to present to you your past president's pin, which is in an envelope they will give to you at some. And by so doing, they have a whole envelope of pins over there. It's pretty good. It's great. It's great. And by so doing, to charge with sharing your knowledge and lending a hand as you remain a member of the board for one more year. Congratulations to you on your excellent work and dedicated service this past year. We thank you for your continued dedication to your club. Now, the president, I would like to call to the stage Judge Gilbert Smith. He was hiding over there in the corner. Now, Judge Smith, you have been elected to the highest office your club can bestow upon you. It is an office of great honor and great responsibilities. The success of your club in this new year will depend upon your leadership at club and board meetings, and as you counsel and inspire your club's committees. In our community, you'll be the face of Kiwanis and your club, so that is the face of Bradenton Kiwanis right now for this coming year. Yeah. Guided by your club's vision, you and your board will set goals for improving your members' club experience and increasing the impact of your club's service in the community. Thank you for dedicating yourself to this leadership position. I hereby formally install you as president of this club, and I sincerely hope that your administrative year will exceed your expectations. Now, as I conclude the officer installation, once again, thank you for having me here. It's an honor to be here with the Bradenton Kiwanis. And I do have wonderful news if you hadn't seen in the newsletter that Mac put out or the Facebook post, but my successor is also a member of your club, Crystal. So thank you, Crystal, for taking on this role. And with that, I now give the floor to your new president, Judge Gilbert Smith. Oh, actually, there's awards. My apologies, yeah.
Okay. So I have props. And I come bearing presents. It's the best kind, right? So this is called my boohoo speech, right? This is my last time that they're going to let me use the mic. Yeah. So this is in memory of a very pandemic year and a half, 2 years. I'm not sure what it is. And you may be sitting there thinking all kinds of awesome things about this past year. I've had many of you compliment the executive team on handling the ups and downs of the past year, but I have a little secret to tell everyone. We were guessing. Sometimes it was pretty educated guessing. Sometimes it was, we will meet and see who shows up. And we were always pleasantly surprised because of all of you. All of us together got through the last year. I saw how the people I lean on were able to shift, change, and lead in our community. Not all decisions were easy to make. Not all people were made happy with a few of them. But make those decisions, my fellow Kiwanians did. I'm sure it was not just our small part of the world either. I am sure the Kiwanis volunteer spirit was felt throughout the whole world. In a way, the last year and a half is pretty much what Kiwanians are trained to get through, with our compassion, discernment, and just true volunteer grit. I am most proud of how our Kiwanians went out into the community and figured out what the most need was in the moment and the crisis that we were in. I think we have volunteered more on the fly in the last year than I have ever seen. Please don't tell Neil that. He and Mike Bear have done an awesome job leading our community volunteer efforts, and I hope it keeps going. So don't let on that they kind of just did it as on the fly. The world needs Kiwanians to be nimble and present in the current needs in their communities. I am most proud of all of us as a group. Whatever the request, each of you in some small or big way rose to the occasion and helped in whatever way that you could. And I am here to say it all counted. One huge accomplishment was started during this year was the Boys and Girls Club at Manatee Elementary, where the necessity for support of the children and families there is so very needed. Thank you to anyone who has volunteered there. If you haven't, please make sure to ask Dawn what it is all about. See, Dawn, I didn't even know you had an announcement today. We also reinstituted an old program, Bug Awards, bringing up grades in several schools. Another huge accomplishment that continued on into my president year for Mike's was feeding our community. And that was through several programs. A big one was Meals on Wheels of Manatee County, and then we also continued working with Kids Against Hunger packaging events. Along with the tried and true programs that we have always done with our SLPs and our schools, supporting our youth and leadership, scholarships, funding in agriculture for 4-H, Farm City Week, FFA. We supported the Southwest Guardian Angel Sprinkler System for their group foster home. We supported Hope for Communities Day of Hope for back-to-school backpacks for our kids in need. We had a veterans coin handout. Man, our veterans committee, they really had to figure out how to do it differently because we couldn't do a luncheon, and they did a great job. Thank you, Ed. I cannot wait to have our luncheon next year. We even came up with the last minute of having pack-and-plays for Hope Family Services for those in most need. So many good things were done during this year. And I say we because really it is all of you. And then outside of our charitable, our membership grew over the last year, even in a pandemic. We shifted to virtual meetings, which was kind of unheard of. Sharon and Jack really took it by storm, promoting our membership. They were calling people on a call tree list to make sure they were okay, which I really appreciated. We are stronger than we have ever been. And I loved all of the emails asking me, when are we getting back to the meetings? that was the best part because I could tell how much people loved coming to the meetings. And I know that people make the same kind of friendships in the club that I do. I hope everyone enjoyed spending my president's budget. You know, that was a late night phone call with Janine, and I said, ooh, I know what I could do. Because I have so many nonprofits that I work with and that I really adore, and I was not going to be able to pick. There was no way. And it actually turned out to be a really great idea, and everybody got to participate, and they got to give out a little bit of the budget and tell me a nonprofit that they really felt met our mission, which helped us all learn and educate. And I loved it. My only regret of this last year is that we didn't pull off the talent show, because I still think it's a great idea. And I am sure that if you have told Janine that you have a talent, she is not going to let you out of it, and I don't think it's going away. Sorry. On a personal note, I would like to point out that I work well with guys. And I made sure Byron showed up today, because I'm fun like that. Even if I do talk too much and I'm a little bossy. If you have not noticed, I started off with all guys, and I have gone all the way with all guys. And I know Neil has been showing off at the board meetings, getting them done in 45 minutes to make his point about I talk too much. And each of the groups, Mike and Brett are both included in that, have teasingly called it the rose between all the thorns. But I know how incredibly blessed I have been to have these good and honorable gentlemen leading with me. Whew. So it wasn't meant to happen any other way. Plus, I do like bossing guys around. You can ask Byron, he'll tell you how much fun I can be at work. It has been my immense pleasure to lead for the club. And there are a lot of great people that led before me and taught me what to do that I am eternally grateful to. Most of all, I am grateful for the individual members of our club and how you personify the golden rule by the way you treat other people in the world. So I have leaned on this club for support in the past, and I have made a lot of lifelong friends, so it was not... Now, I'm up here crying, Byron. It wasn't the easiest decision to go. So, and I do want you to know that, you know, Byron used to put in my reviews at work that attending Kiwanis was one of the goals I had to achieve. And I think that was a great goal. And if any of you have employees and you're bringing them to the Kiwanis meetings to teach them about getting out in the community, you should put it in the reviews. So you guys already saw I gave some survival bags to the incoming officers. I hope that they enjoy them. I have some party gifts for all of you as well. Out on the table, there are some pins. They're my two favorite pins for Kiwanis. One is Kiwanis is my superhero because every single person in this room is a superhero. And the other one is I love my Kiwanis Club. And so I wasn't going to get it, and then I thought, you know what, I am. And there is a story behind the I love my Kiwanis Club pin. When I was the membership chair, we won't say who was the president, I was charged with, there was an international campaign, Kiwanis International campaign that came out. And it was a I love my club campaign, which is what these pins were for. So I found them on the clearance section, just so you know. I was asked to give a speech as the membership chair about why I love the club and to get other people to give the same speech. So you know I did it. I got up here, bared my heart, gave the why I love my club speech. Everybody loved it, and yeah, I was the only one. I couldn't talk anybody else into getting up here and speaking on it, so I figured I would use this as my opportunity. I know, I should alleviate everyone's fears about getting up here and speaking. It is not as hard as it looks. Neil makes it look really easy. I don't know why. And really, anything, we are all among friends here, so no one should be afraid to come up here and speak or to lead or to run the meeting. So I encourage you that if you've thought about being in Kiwanis leadership, you should express that desire. And the key is, if you haven't noticed, is to go with the flow, because the mics don't always work. The video doesn't always work. The script isn't always right, but we figure it out. So I have some fun awards I want to pass out really quickly because I know we're running out of time. And don't anyone get upset. If you didn't get picked, it's just because I didn't pick on you. They're not anything spectacular. You're not going to want to put them up in your office. They're kind of funny, so they're to make you guys laugh at them. Now everybody's hoping they're not going to get called, right? Okay, so for my first award, what trick would you like for me to perform next? Temperature checks, mass checker, run the whole show? So Neil Unruh. There you go. You're so welcome. Programs, we don't need no stinking programs. Gilbert has it covered. Gilbert? So, the best video, tech, I'll push every button till I figure out guy, which I'm going to lovingly refer to as My Guy Tuesday, Mac Aldrich. Y'all have to realize Mac went through a lot this last year, figuring all this stuff out. Well, I didn't want to give her that award because she bosses you around. Okay. We will set up fundraising, help with social media, and we just want to do it for fun. Sharon and Ann. I hope when I'm retired, I get to have this kind of fun. Seriously. So you guys have to share it. And I'll put a shameless plug in. If you haven't donated to our foundation, you should. Our foundation is what supports our programs and activities. It's what helps us do what we've been doing in the community. And as members, we should be supporting it. Oh, let's see. What else do I have here? Signature project. All the stats to go with it. Dawn Stanhope. Literally. She was able to explain, with Anne-Marie's help, all the reasons why the kids at Manatee Elementary needed us. And, she was pretty relentless on making sure that we got this project in there. If I joined the Army, I would hope you were the general. So, I want to finish taking his picture. So, the minute we have live meetings, I'm there. Lemoyne Johnson. You gonna take your own picture? He is always there to take pictures, and even when I offered to him that he didn't have to, he's like, "Oh no, I'm coming." Got it?
Yeah.
See how many you get up too.
Thank you.
Turn around. Nope. Mac wants to get your picture.
There we go.
So the next one is political forums. Why not? Alex Garner, he's not afraid to ask if we can do something. I don't know if Alex is here today, but his dad is, so Dad, you get to get his award for him. So hopefully everybody I'm picking on is okay with being picked on. Kids will do what you ask them to if you give them a lollipop. Bill Murphy. And I will say, Bill and Carol have always been there with great advice, but you guys would be amused at all the emails I get in the evening to lollipops because I made a silly comment. That's right. So my personal knight in shining armor, let's see if he's paying attention, Cliff Walters. If ever you would like to know what it means to stand up for another person professionally, then watch how Cliff works. I am in awe of the person he is And I would say all of us should be a Cliff Walters. So I have a special award for Janine. I know you guys were expecting this because you've seen it on the table. So the award I'm giving her is, I think I called her 1,000 times during this presidency, and she's the one who talked me into doing this. Byron blessed it, but Janine talked me into it. You know, we would get, I know you guys have all seen her and I fight back and forth and tit for tat. We're pretty good friends outside of work. But every problem presented to her, she came back with 200 solutions. And I don't think I would have got through this year without it. So I am presenting her with her ruined Christmas gift, the Little Red Hen. I bought it to admit defeat that she should keep Little Red Hen at home because she has chickens. And Little Red Hen decided to go MIA and go missing right 3 days after I bought this gift for her. So she's getting her ruined Christmas gift for me. And it's full of Smarties and Lifesavers. So I don't think Dave Bassett is here, but I have an award for him, and it's called 30 Years Ago, This Is What We Did. So I don't know if any of you know this, but Dave has been in our club a really long time. And I will also say Dave is one of the first people who came right up to me and just looked at me and he said, anything you need, call me anytime. So, and it's very simple, and he meant it, and I love him for it. So that's what we should do for our fellow members. Anything you need, just call me. So we'll give that to him later, maybe when he's in a good mood. Yeah, in 30 years. I'm sure he's going to appreciate it. Oh, wait, that's not his. So they're all screwed up. I have Janine's right there. She must have Dave's. There you go. Okay, last one. So this is the It's All Your Fault award for Byron Shin. Mr. Shin sponsored me in Kiwanis. When I began working with him, he took me to my first Kiwanis meeting, and he kept taking me to meetings. I didn't drive on my own. He drove me to the meetings. And, and he taught me all about Kiwanis. And, when I said I want to be an officer, he said, great. When I said we should stop doing the audit and we should start working inside of the club for free, he did it. So to Byron, I owe quite a lot. And it has been a really great past year, he and I being in the same office, him being chair of foundation, me being president of Kiwanis Club, because he's right down the hall and he couldn't get away from me. So here you go, Byron. You want to take a picture with me? So there are also lots of unsung champions in our room. John Vita, Brett Pollock, Mike McCoy, Dave Grantham, John Mullis, Terry Roberts, Kelly French, Andy Meyer, Ed Cleveland. I consider them go forever. Ed Nicholas, Rich Fred, Jan and Ray Shaberg, John and JB Tucker, Mike Bear. I mean, everybody in this room has contributed something to this club. And it's been a great year. Make sure you get your pins. And I want to give a fond farewell to our outgoing board members, Sean Flynn and Don Stanhope. And thank you very much for your service. All right, last part. You going to help me with this last part?
I'm just getting closer.
I know. Here, you could do that part of it. So now we have, see, Gilbert doesn't even know what we're doing. We have the creme de la resistance. I know you thought it was Gilbert's speech, but I'm one-upping him. So if everyone in the audience would put on their Hixons, if they have not. This is our presentation of the George F. Hixon Fellowship Award. We only have one, and it's because we wanted to make it really special for him. The recipient winner has risen to the occasion this year above and beyond the rest. Most years we have a few winners, but this year will be his year all to himself. As a way of recognizing his very significant contribution to Kiwanis over the past year through his generosity, hard work, and volunteer spirit, we are so very pleased to award Neil Unruh with this fellowship. Yeah.
So it's a tradition in the Bradenton Kiwanis Club to mark a significant event with a toast to our amazing club and our amazing leadership. Christy's done a beautiful job. We've got the best club in the history of Kiwanis. On three, Bradenton Kiwanis. 1, 2, 3. Bradenton Kiwanis.
Just a few more minutes, and then we will adjourn. This has been a tough year. It's been a difficult year. It's one that only so many people could do as well as Christy. And I want to recognize Christy for the work she's done by presenting her with this plaque for a job well done. I'm going to be quick. I'm going to be efficient. You're going to see me trying to be efficient throughout this year. The first thing I do want to say is it's a good thing, Judge Nicholas, that we're on Zoom for those that had the fireball. So, Judge Doyle also. So,
Two judges insisted that you have the fire.
I am truly honored to be the president this next year, which is our 99th year. I'm excited about it. I'm glad that my wife, Anita, and my daughter, Shannon, are here, and Donna McCam and my assistant are here to help me with scheduling, to help me work through all of this. You're gonna be listening to me throughout the year, not only for the history talks that I'm going to give, but for other matters. But I do want to leave you with a couple of things that are my thoughts. Do you realize that there are people in Manatee County, and maybe even in this club, who do not realize, do not believe that children are starving throughout this county, that they're being abused, they're being abandoned, that they're being neglected? This club has done a great job, an outstanding job of providing for those children that we can get involved in the K clubs with Judge Nicholas. For the key clubs, or for those organizations that he come forward with. I want us to push forward. I want us to find those children that are left behind. I want us to help those children heal themselves through trauma. That's what I want to do this year. I want to reach beyond what we've been doing to help some children. We're in a week or two, we're going to be hearing from the Guardian Ad Litem program. And Judge Doyle, Judge Nicholas, and I know, because we've experienced in the court, but we are going to reach out to do a little bit more for the children in this community. The photo to my right is a 1924 photo of this club in 1924 at the Arcade Hotel. You're going to hear me talking a lot about this, but these men at that time, just men, were an outstanding club just not even 18 months after they were formed. And for 60 or 70 years, at least, they have been part of every major project in this community. It may surprise you, but they were involved in having the channels of the Manatee River dug deeper so that they could have better shipping here in the 20s. And there's so many other things they've done. You know so many things they've done. I'm going to be talking more about this, but I am excited that we're going to go forward in this 99th year. You're going to see me working with Neil as a team, a tag team, so often that we're going to try to be as efficient as we can. We're going to try to cover as much as we can. And it's been a real pleasure to be the president-elect between two CPAs. They can concentrate on things that are not my strengths. So that being said, we will adjourn, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you.